day.
No, the point is that admittedly no one is saying that there are no challenges facing this country. Yes, unemployment may be a challenge, price rise may be a challenge, but I'm not sure, and this is where the articulation is missing as to how Rahul Gandhi or this Bharat Jodo Yatra is going to offer an alternative or solutions to those problems. But be that as it may, let me ask Dr. Sudhanshu Trivedi, who's just joined us, to respond to Aishwarya Mahadev's specific charges against your party. She is saying, and the Congress party is claiming, the need to do Bharat Jodo is because you have todoed Bharat.
Actually, this is nothing but another futile attempt by Congress party to relaunch and re-establish Rahul Gandhi in the politics, because he is a very peculiar example in the entire Indian politics. Rahul Gandhi is neither the Congress president at this time, nor is the leader of the opposition. But he is leading the Yatra and everybody is behind him. And if he would have been a general secretary or vice president as he was before 2017, and he was anticipated as an emerging young leader who is likely to take over the party in due course of time, even then that could have been understood. But he has already relinquished the charges. So look at the travesty of the honesty. When Rahul Gandhi resigned after 2019, he said that he is not ready to take any responsibility further. And now, that person who has shed off their responsibility, he has been forcibly again forced into a program. That seems a very unique, peculiar, or rather than strange example in the entire Indian politics. Now coming to the second aspect, as far as the Bharat Jodo is concerned, I think the Congress party is the fountainhead of all sort of separatist element in the post-Indian politics, whether it is on the issue of the caste, creed, linguistic provinces, from there to creating, they are saying, the hatred among the communities. Sir, I have said several times, when the Prime Minister of India officially said that the Muslims should have first right over the national resources of India, and this was a harmonious secularism. It's very strange. When 26/11 was done, and they have not taken any stance, presumably because that may not benefit BJP. As Barack Obama has written in his book, Promised Land, that was the peace and tranquility, for the peace and tranquility of the country. So the country has marched ahead, far ahead. The millennium generation who has opened their eyes in 21st century, now they are well informed, everything is on there, on their smartphone. If they want to verify, a number of things can be verified. So I think these type of strategy are not going to work in the new emerging India of 21st century.
Okay. Kailash Adhikari, the issue for Rahul Gandhi and for the Congress party is this, that at one point, yes, they were the principal challengers to the BJP. Yes, you can argue that, nationally to take on the BJP, there is no other alternative but the Congress party. But the reality of today's opposition polity is that a Congress party which is ruling in two states, Rajasthan and Chhattisgarh, and you have an Aam Aadmi party which is also ruling in two states, Punjab and Delhi. And today, the Congress, which used to be the principal opposition in Gujarat, which is the next big state going to polls, it's very well possible that the Aam Aadmi party is going to give them a stiff run for their money. So the Congress today is not only having to face the mammoth task of taking on this larger-than-life electoral machine called the BJP, but they're also facing a threat from below or from behind, which is regional parties and smaller parties who seem to be pulling the rug from under the Congress's feet.
Absolutely, Zaka. I believe that in today's time, it is very difficult for everyone of us to say that Congress is the principal opposition party at the center, and that is the party that could give the BJP the so-called takkar for the national elections. Because, as you rightly mentioned, in power in two states, vis-a-vis AAP also in power in two states. And I mean, the entire might of the Congress party has been reduced to a regional party, whether the party likes it or not. Now, coming back to the question of the Bharat Jodo Yatra, I mean, it's time that the Congress should first think of the party Jodo Yatra. We have seen and we have debated a numerous number of times the amount of senior leaders who have left the party, and the latest being Shri Ghulam Nabi Azad ji, who was with the party since a long time, and also one of the senior most politicians of this country. So as Dr. Sudhanshu Trivedi also pointed out, that more than 50% of the population of this country is youth. And Zakat, all they want to see, the voter and today's voters want to see, is sincerity in the eyes of the leader. And that is what is lacking when it comes to the Congress party, where when people think about voting, they believe that are they actually serious about first themselves, and you have to be serious about yourself, and then you have to be serious about the public. Then only the voters can actually see it in their eyes. So more than the Bharat Jodo Yatra, भारत पहले से ही जुड़ा हुआ था. सरदार वल्लभ भाई पटेल ने भारत को जोड़ के रखा था. Had it been not for him, otherwise we would be divided princely states. So more than the Bharat Jodo Yatra, it should be first कि पार्टी को जोड़ना जरूरी है, तो ही वोटर के in the eyes of the voter you would be actually seen as a serious contender.
No, so I want to ask Radhika Ramaseshan. Admittedly, one part of Bharat Jodo would be to revive the Congress's fortunes, and they are an opposition party. They are in the electoral space. They are well within their right to do whatever they can to try and revive that party. But here is the problem, Radhika. We all know that in the next month or so, the Congress party is due to get its new president. The election dates have been announced. The result dates have already been announced. At such a time, when the entire Congress's party's efforts, its attention should be who the next president is going to be. And certainly Mr. Rahul Gandhi